Hey everybody, pretty excited to bring you this review. This is my review of the Syma X12S. It's their second version of their Nano. Here's the quad right here. As you can see, it's just a little bit different. The body style is pretty similar to the first X12. Does have new prop guards on it, and let me start with the bad real quick because I like to start with the bad. The prop guards are not removable. As you can see here, they're molded into the frame. So they're not removable. They're very similar to the X13 prop guards. They look pretty much the same, actually. Here's the X13. You can see the prop guards are the same. This is another X13 that I got. This one, I actually ordered black, and apparently they didn't have it in black, and they sent me a red, which was totally fine by me because red is my favorite color. And now I have this matching set. You can see they're very similar, the prop guards and the style. Besides the prop guards being non-removable, I don't really have much bad to say about this. If you were like me and had the first X12 that had some serious flaws with it, as far as, in my opinion anyway, it had a really excruciatingly slow yaw rate, and I'm very happy to say that this one doesn't. This has a yaw rate that's very similar to the X13 or the X11 Hornet. It's faster. There's only one yaw rate. There's two rates on it, a low and a high, but the yaw doesn't change on either one. But it's decent. It's doesn't spin like a top or anything like that. Not as fast as some of the other little nanos out there or other quads. But it's good. It's really good. It's for indoor flying now. This thing is awesome. You can get real aggressive with this thing inside, and push it to the limits inside. So even in tight spaces, and if you've seen any of my other videos of me flying, you know that I like to fly real fast, forward pitch, and do tight funnel turns or high banking turns, and this thing does them. It does pretty nice funnels. It won't spin on one motor pod like some of the quads out there, but the funnels are really good, and the flips are really good. They're tight. It recovers well. I have to say, I'm very impressed with this. Especially since I had a couple of the other I had a couple X12s in the previous model, and I have to say that for learning, the first X12 as a learning quad, someone who's never flown before, it was pretty good because if you're learning, you don't really need a fast yaw rate. You just need to learn how to control it in the air. But once you get the control of it and you really want to fly it, that yaw became a detriment. But this one is great. This one is awesome. They've also eliminated and if you had the old X12, you know that the LEDs were on top here, which made no sense. And they've now put them here underneath each motor, so the LEDs are nice and bright. You can see them. I guess there is one other thing that I didn't like, and Syma has done this like with the X5C. The red are in the front and the green are in the back. I don't like that, but I totally forgive them for that, for how good a flying quad this is. This is really, really fun. I don't know you know how much the prop guards affect the flight because I can't take them off, but it doesn't seem to affect them that much. I'm not a fan of prop guards. You know, I've seen other reviews where people say it doesn't affect the flight of it, and I just don't agree with that. Prop guards always affect the flight of any quad that I've ever flown, and I don't use them on anything if I can help it. And I've said before, with the exception of the X13, this one flies pretty good with the prop guards, but I will say it flies better without them. So yeah, they did eliminate the front headlight too, which doesn't matter to me. The LEDs are real good. It's good for orientation. Does come with the standard Syma controller for their nanos and micros, and I will have to say that a lot of people don't like these controllers, and I understand that. The hobby style controllers are much better, but for a nano to come with a controller this size is awesome, because the standard little tiny nano controllers are, I don't feel comfortable using them. My hands are so big, I'm always gripping them real tight. So to have this size controller with a nano is perfect in my opinion. I thought this came with headless mode, and maybe it does. I read somewhere that it does, but I couldn't get it to work like the X13. I tried the bumper button up here and it didn't work. But other than that, and I don't use headless mode anyway, so without it, I know is fine with me. It has the standard USB charging cable and a full set of spare props with it. Their instruction manual, it's in good English. This model does come in 4 colors: the red, green, white, and black. Red's my favorite color, so that's the one that I got. The green looks really cool though. I know that Flying Ryan will like the green one. That's his color. So I expect him to get a green one. The LEDs are not inside the body, they're right outside. Let me turn it on real quick. So you can see they're right on the bottom. And they do shine up through the top a little bit, so if you're flying low, you can still make them out pretty good. And it's not binding for some reason. Here, let me try this again. I had a problem earlier with it and it wouldn't bind. Maybe I have the wrong controller, but okay, there we go. So it does have all the trims. They all work real good. Flip button is up here. Rate button is up here. And you can see that they really fixed the LEDs. It looks really good. Looks really good. It has the same battery. It's an internal 100 milliamp hour battery. You get about 5.5 minutes of flight time. And the other thing they fixed was the LVC. And I think the LVC on my last one was about 5 seconds or so. It seemed like nothing. It like started blinking and would land. This one is about 30 seconds, so it's really good. It does shut off the flip function once it starts LVC, but it's about 30 seconds, so you get about 6 minutes of flight time per charge. Takes about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to charge, somewhere along that. I will say that using these USB chargers, if you plug them into your computer, it takes much longer for them to charge. If you plug these into a plug for the wall, they charge much faster. So there's that. But anyway, I am super happy with this. I recommend it, especially for a nano. It's super fun to fly inside and out. And I gotta say props to Syma for fixing the problems that they had with the first one, because this thing is awesome. So I'm gonna take it for a little indoor test flight and show you guys the yaw rate and the pitches and do a little flying, and we'll call it a review. So let's check that out. Okay, this is an indoor flight demo of the new Syma X12S. It's got the standard controller. It will bind with the X5C controller, like most of the Syma products. So if you have one of those, you can use that. This giant pillow here is not for crashing. It's for the very spoiled cats that live here. So let's try to ignore that. But we're gonna test it out here, and we'll start on low, and I'll show you the pitch rate. So here we go. And you can see how stable Syma's products are. Always really, really stable. So this is low, and there's the yaw, and you can see how big of an improvement that yaw is. It does not change. That's the yaw on high too, but it's such an improvement. Here's the pitch on low. You can see it's not super fast on low, so beginners, you know, it's pretty good. Here's high. You can see the yaw doesn't change. It's a nice yaw though. And here's the pitch. And this thing can get cooking, you know. I really like it. So we'll do a flip here. Nice tight flips. Really like it. Let's do a little flying around the room here and see that it gets cooking pretty good. Now, do some funnels. You can see the funnels are much better now. I really like flying this thing. It's so much better. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the flight performance of the X13. It does real nice tight funnel turns. It gets going real quick. And you can see the LEDs are reversed as far as I like them. The green is in front and the red is, or the green is in back and the front has the red, but you know, it's okay. I'm not hating on it too much because they fix so many other things. And you can see that's, you know, Syma's stability is very, very good in, you know, almost all their products. You can see that. This thing is a lot of fun, man. I gotta say, I really, really like it. Really happy with it. Super excited about it. Just gonna fly it to LVC and maybe show you how long that lasts now, since it's so much better. But this thing is just really fun to fly, man. I gotta say, I'm really, really happy with it. I guess I can't say that enough, because if you have the old one, you know what I mean. I highly recommend picking this up, even if especially if you have the old one. If you're looking at getting a Nano and you are looking at the the previous model of the X12, I would definitely not get that one. Get this, even if you're a beginner, never flown before. Here's the slow rate. You know, it still works real good. It's not too fast. This is on low. You can even do pretty good funnels with low. You know, those aren't bad. But just, oh, there's LVC. Now you'll be able to see how long this one lasts compared to the other one. But it does, like I said, disable the flip function. So once the lights start blinking, you won't be able to flip, but that's not too bad of a deal. Well, there we go. I guess that didn't last a full 30 seconds that time, but much better than the last one, which pretty much blinked and landed. Anyway, new X12S by Syma. Thanks for watching, guys.